Hi, I'm Ruth Miller from Unglamorous Music, and my mission is to try and get more people, especially women, to form bands and start while you're a beginner. You don't need to take lessons for 3 years and sit alone in your bedroom struggling. You can find some people and form a band early on. So today is about different types of guitars. Sometimes people watch a band and see people playing different guitars, and they're not aware of what the difference is between a bass guitar and an electric guitar. The difference is the number of strings. So a bass guitar is generally bigger, heavier. It has a longer neck, but it only has 4 strings. And people say that it's easier to play because you're only playing one note at a time generally. In something like a punk or garage band, you would just be playing one note, and some of them can be open strings. So here I can just play this string by plucking here. It's not very loud because it's not plugged in. I need a lead and I need an amplifier, but for now I'm just playing it quietly. So the simplest bass lines are just very rhythmic like that. And so even if you haven't got great manual dexterity with your fingers, you can have a go. And then you can pick out other notes, put the finger beyond the fret here. Some people play with the plectrum. As you get better, you can play little tunes. But the idea of the bass line is to provide a low, low note going in the rhythm with the drum or across the drum, and to sometimes provide a fill within parts of the songs. So it's a really kind of glamorous instrument. There are lots of famous female bass players. So that's often a good choice. Definitely think about weight though. If you're somebody who's quite small or you find you've got shoulder problems, do think about the weight of the bass. That one's really, really heavy. I wouldn't want to play that for too long. So try and get one made of a wood that isn't so heavy. Now this is an electric guitar, and this string here is the same note. It's a higher pitch, but it's the same note as the lowest string on the bass guitar. So that string, and that string, and that string, and that string, these 4 strings are the same notes as on the bass guitar. So when I put my finger in a particular place on the fret here, if the person on the bass did that, they would get essentially the same note, but a lower version of it. What the electric guitar has is 2 extra strings here. So obviously you can get higher notes. People say generally the electric guitar is harder to master. I would say it's not hard to get started with. If you are doing very, very simple things on the electric guitar, cranking up loud, maybe using effects pedals, you can do things that are very simple, that are just using one finger, one note. So that doesn't sound great on its own, but if you put that through some sort of effect, or you had it loud, you can make it sound interesting within a song. The other thing you can do with an electric guitar is play chords. And there are lots of YouTube videos showing you where to put your fingers for different chords, and we'll get onto that fairly soon. But even without knowing where to put your fingers, you can use rhythmic things on the guitar. So it depends what kind of band you want to be in. If you want to be in a sort of post-punk noisy band, there's lots of things you can experiment with without knowing the basics. If you just want to learn a couple of chords, you can play something. It's not very well in tune, but you can just play pleasant tune things. You can pick out lines like that. So in the first few days, if you get an instrument, just try and get to grips with holding it. This again is quite a heavy instrument, and so it's worth checking out that the weight isn't too much for you. Sometimes people think that electric guitars are quite expensive, and so if you go, this is my favorite guitar at the moment from a charity shop. Now this would be no good in a band situation. I could go to a very quiet place where everybody was silent and play classic. This is a classical guitar, but it's not going to get any louder than this. The other guitars, you can put leads in and put it into amplifiers and make it loud. This one is only going to be this loud, but it's really good for learning on because the strings are the same, the notes are the same. anything that I would go on to play on the electric guitar, I can practice on here. This is quite good. It's small, I can carry it about. It doesn't matter if I lose it. I can have it, just handy to pick up and do a songwriting idea with. So don't be worried if you can't get an electric instrument straight away. You can get started on one of these, learn some things, and then later apply it to an electric instrument when you get together with some people and form your first band. Okay, hope that's been helpful. You can maybe write a comment, I don't know. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.